This tactics video is going to be on the area ambush. It is found in Appendix A of TC 31-29 Special Forces Operational Techniques 1988. I will read you what they have written in here for the description. Then we'll go over this little map, which I somewhat copied from the manual. I did a few changes on it. The origin of the type of ambush now called area ambush is not known. It was used by Hannibal against the Romans in the 2nd century BC. More recently, it was modified and perfected by the British Army in Malaya, and with several variations used in Vietnam. The British found that point ambushes often failed to produce heavy casualties. When ambushed, the communist guerrillas would immediately break contact and disperse along escape routes leading away from the kill zone. The British counteracted this tactic by blocking escape routes with point ambushes. They called these multiple related point ambushes the area ambush. The British Army version of the area ambush is as follows. A point ambush is established at a site having several trails or other escape routes leading away from it. This site may be a watering hole, an enemy campsite, a known rendezvous point, or along a frequently traveled trail. This site is the central killing zone. Point ambushes are established along the trails and other escape routes leading away from the central kill zone. The target, whether a single group or several groups approaching from different directions, is permitted to move to the central killing zone. Outlying ambushes do not attack unless discovered. The ambush is initiated when the target moves into the central killing zone. When the target breaks contact or attempts to disperse, escaping portions are intercepted and destroyed by the outlying ambushes. The multiple contacts achieve increased casualties, harassment, and confusion of the enemy. The British Army version of the area ambush is best suited to counter-guerrilla operations in terrain where movement is largely restricted to trails. It produces the best results when it is established as a deliberate ambush. When there is not sufficient intelligence for a deliberate ambush, an area ambush of opportunity may be established. The outlying ambushes are permitted to attack targets approaching the central killing zone, if within their capabilities. If too large for that particular outlying ambush, the target is allowed to continue and is attacked in the central kill zone. They have another area or another section inside area ambush called the baited ambush tactic, which I've covered a few times in videos. But in this one, this route here is the one most traveled by the enemy. So we put in our main ambush here. That's where the bulk of the force is going to be. Indirect fire capabilities you have would cover this area in here, immediately behind the kill zone. You don't want to get too close to your ambush. Secondaries for indirect fire would be this area here and this area up here. Your indirect fires would be 60mm mortars. I would not go higher than that. It would also be your 40mm grenade launchers. We have point ambushes here, 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 and back here to warn us if anyone's coming from this direction. So if we have enemy element that comes down from the north along this trail here, this ambush notifies the main ambush where the leadership is going to be that they're coming from this direction. They get down to here, the end of the ambush here from the main kill zone will see it. the end of the ambush from this point ambush down here will see it, and then notify them which direction they go. Do they continue down this direction or they continue this direction? If they do continue down this route going this way, the leader over here may instruct this point ambush here, which could be fire team to squad in size, to initiate early. Hit them as they're just starting to enter the kill zone. Maybe get them to pull back. Rethink what they're doing, and then maybe change their route into the main kill zone, or continue back the route they came. If they come back the route that they came in on, this ambush would then initiate. Maybe we'll get them come back down again, rethink, either push in through here or go down this route here. If they decide to push in through this way, well, then you start laying down the indirect fire on them. But the goal is get them inside this main kill zone. That's where the bulk of your force is going to be, say platoon size, maybe bigger. Once the enemy force is well inside that kill zone, they open up. They decide to break contact coming back, going along either route. These ambushes engage. If they try going in through here, these guys engage, spraying this area in here. These guys can potentially shift and then shoot down this way. If they decide to break contact by going this direction, we have tripwire activated mines we've laid on the edge of this vegetation in here a little bit. They start pushing through, they start running, trying to break contact, they start setting those mines off. These guys keep watch. If they start coming out the other side, start squirting through, they call for the indirect fire to start laying in on here. Or we start notifying everyone, hey, lay down your 40mm grenades in here. And then everyone starts doing that if they're within range. They try pushing through the kill zone, they get hit by this ambush here. If they somehow get through here, get across, and they try pushing up through this way or through this way, these guys engage. Now you do have the potential for crossfire. Friendly elements taking friendly fire from other ambushes. You get around that by use of limiting stakes and also hasty fighting positions. These guys up here, they're going to have to make sure that the sides of their positions in this direction are sufficiently thick enough to be able to withstand any stray rounds that somehow make it all the way over there. These guys over here will have to have limiting stakes. If they have a belt-fed machine gun, make sure that it's shooting basically just this direction, covering this funnel and through here. You don't want it going directly in like that. You don't want it going directly in like that. So you got to know where everybody else is. These guys have to make sure they have their limiting stakes so they don't go too far over. So they're covering just like that, and they're covering like that so they don't end up hitting them over here. These guys have to make sure their limiting stakes keep their fires going that direction, not that way. These guys have to make sure their limiting stakes prevent fire from going this direction. They're just covering that direction. These little zones in between, if you're worried about those, you can take care of those with hand grenades or your grenade launchers. It's a pretty devious tactic, and I definitely can see how it works. Get your enemy into the kill zone. Hit them in there, they try breaking contact, they think they're getting away, well then the next ambush gets them. Cut off areas you do not want the enemy to go through with the use of IEDs, mines, booby traps. Like I mentioned in ways for countering enemy assaults and ambushes, you can put pikes and punji stakes in vegetation So if your enemy tries retreating through an area, get them to hit those tripwires, fall down on those stakes, run through the bushes. They end up getting impaled on the pikes. You get the general idea. Any areas that you do not have direct eyes on, make sure you have it covered with indirect fire, either grenade launchers or light mortars. Or it's within grenade range of one of the ambushes that one of your guys can toss a fragmentation grenade into there easily. It's actually pretty straightforward, pretty devious, and I can definitely see how it was very casualty producing. Now, for all my engineer brothers in the Patriot Militia movements, always remember, essayons.